Life isn't going to get easier. My name's Malin, and I've noticed, especially myself, that I always have this idea that in the future, one day, when I have enough money, when I find the right person, when I have the right friends, when I'm in the right environment, suddenly then, my life is going to be better, then I'm going to feel better and everything's going to just fit in and it's going to be great. And, this seems reasonable, this seems like common sense, like, oh, if I have more money, then I'll be more secure, I'll be able to have my own place, I'll be able to buy the things that I want when I want, I'll be able to provide for the people that I want to provide to. And it's kind of putting a condition on our happiness, like if I have this, that's when I'll be happy. If I have this, that's when I'll be okay. And this is kind of like a widespread thing I see in society a lot, this illusion of like tomorrow and always dreaming in the future. And it's nice to kind of dream about these things and have ideas of what you want, but at the end of the day, it's out of our control, and all we really have is like the present moment. That's the only area that we have control in. With the future, there's like so many different factors that are put into it, like you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how the economy is going to change, you don't know what you're going to feel like tomorrow, you don't know what your brain chemistry is going to be like tomorrow, and all these different factors that just have such a big effect on our lives that we just take for granted, and we're just like, oh yeah, I just feel like this at the moment. And you feel like I think of myself so many times, like I get so caught up in these ideas, like I'm going to be the best at this, I'm going to be great at this, and I'm going to put in all this work and I'm going to reach it. But we rarely think of the cost that it takes to get there, and the cost of actually having those things, like more money is more responsibility, it's more taxes, it's more people, more eyes on you, more pressure on you, and it's bigger problems, more money means you have bigger problems, so your problems don't really go away. And if we just look around at life, we can kind of see that, it's kind of harsh, there's these things that happen that, don't really seem right or seem good, but in the whole scheme of things, I'll tell a story to make this seem more succinct. So it's like the eagle scanning it's for a prey, and it finds a rabbit and then it swoops down and then it kills it. And you could say, oh, that's so terrible, why did the bunny deserve to die? That eagle is so evil. But in the eagle's eyes, he needs to eat, he needs to survive, and he's actually needed, because if those rabbits are allowed to be, rabbit breed like rabbits, the term, if they're allowed to grow and not be overpopulated, then the plants are going to diminish, because they're going to be eating all the plants, all the grass and all that. And then there's going to be less for other animals, and there's just going to be rabbits ruling the world, and that just sounds like a terrible world. Anyway, but I digress. What I'm saying is that even these harsh things are all part of the balance of life, and sometimes these things kind of suck, but in the scheme of things, in the long term of things, they all kind of work out. And this idea from Alex Hormozi, he's like, it was just kind of like this post that he said that really resonated with me. It was about God. It's like this discussion with God. It's like, oh, I want to be stronger. And then so God's like, oh, well, I'll put you under bigger weights. I'll put you under more adversity, so then you can grow and learn to be stronger and appreciate things more. It's like you need both things. You can't have one without the other, which is the idea of non-duality. And then, it's kind of, once I kind of came to this realization the first time, even now sometimes, I just wonder, like, why go on? Why just keep doing these things? Like, if life is just going to keep suffering, and I'm just going to keep having all these problems, and I'm already struggling as I am, and it's not going to get easier. Like, as I grow, the problems are going to grow with me. Then, what's the point in going on? What's the point in living or doing any of these things? And then, it's very easy from there to just be nihilistic and defeatist and just say, well, I may as well just give up. And, I still think about this a lot now, but like, we're alive, so why not try and make the most of our lives, like maybe I will end up taking up my life one day, but there are things that I still want to do, and I just need to hold on to those things, hold on to that little glimmer of hope, because, you know, even though it may not bring the satisfaction that I want, just having these dreams and working towards them just kind of keeps you distracted from those negative thoughts, because they're, you know, you've got to accept them and you've got to realize that everything is kind of meaningless. But then it's like, oh, well, what am I going to do? Am I just going to sit down and give up, or am I going to try anyway? And that's what I think the right answer is. But in this vulnerable state, you know, so many people get hooked, and I got hooked into self-help kind of areas. You know, these people and these gurus and these guides and these self-help masculine guys that are speaking so confidently to you, and they were at the bottom where you are. You know, they were watching porn, they were jacking off all the time, they were eating all these junk food and binge eating, and they were so sad, and they were living all by themselves, and they were smoking weed and all this shit. And then, you know, they have this great comeback story. They're like, and then I made myself into a millionaire, and then I made myself into all these kind of things, which is a nice story, but, you know, we all kind of struggle, and these things are just getting us hooked to try and make them more money. You know, sometimes they do want to give us more, but it's very hard to get out of this kind of trap, because then you kind of look up to these people so much, and you know, that can make you feel really bad because they've achieved so much and you feel so far behind. But all these little steps in between that we just don't see are how they got to where they got, and how we can get to where they're going or where they've got. But also, like, there's more than one way. You know, you shouldn't live your life based on what other people say. And so many other people are looking for answers. I've spent so much time just looking for answers online, and you know, you do get some, but the best answers are the ones that you kind of come up with yourself, or the ideas that you kind of meld together and that you form and connect with yourself, you know, because only you can know what you need best and what you enjoy most, and how you want to live your life. Like, somebody else can't tell you that, and you can't get satisfaction in following someone else's blueprint for how you should live your life, you know. And I guess that's all I can leave you with. That's what I want to leave you with. That's what I want to imprint on people, because, you know, there's not really any real answers in life to anything, because, you know, with this meaning and this kind of thing, you know, we're all just spinning around on this rock trying our best to live our lives when we don't really know which direction we're going. We're just going with our best guesses and seeing where it takes us, you know. And it's really up to you to kind of find out what you want to do and how you want to live your life. But all we really have is like this present moment now, which is another thing that I want to really get across to people, because it's so easy to get caught up in the past and think of all of these things that happened in the past that got you to where you are. But we need to let go of like the guilt and the chains of that and think beyond that, because as soon as we lump ourselves into this one kind of area, you know, oh, I'm introverted because of X, Y, and Z. I'm introverted because I didn't really connect with other people, because I had a difficult relationship with my parents. As soon as we do that, we kind of block ourselves off from growing and exploring life. You know, it's kind of like, oh, so this is how I should act. And that's a problem that I've been working on and that I want to speak on more. But anyway, I think that's enough for this video. Thank you for watching. I felt a little bit rusty, but it's kind of good to get back into the rhythm of recording videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.